Shalom, Kahala Yamla Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem B'Kakwadash, and double honors to the elders and apostles, GMS, do well, and peace and blessings and shalom to the hopeful elect. My name is Rapal Shabbat, and this is this prophecy watch, man. I mean, literally, this has been the topic of discussion all over, and this is the next, these next major prophecies about to pop off, man. It's really in the time to be playing. The Lord is to build brothers up, to fortify our brothers' minds, to stay in the spirit to the best of our ability, man. Because now you're seeing, the Egyptian being set against the Egyptian, Isaiah 19 plan is going into effect. And when that goes into effect, just you only going to see it get worse. Not predominantly, yes, for women, because the nation's not going to continue to support all these different welfare organizations, these different factors. I don't need a man. You're going to see that weed out whenever you see these two different positions of power start to go against each other. Because right now you're seeing the two-headed beast, these two-headed devils show themselves, man. And they show themselves in the media, as they always do. What they call Amalek, we call the Ish people. The Ish people right now is pretty much what you're really watching. And I'm gonna play the video. You watching these two nations that don't agree with each other about I guess the common law of power. See, they're finding out that these everyday Americans is finding out that you've been fucked over, man, and they're gonna really find out that you really been sold. Trump really sold you over to these motherfuckers, to these people, man, and really that was all the setup. That's why you're seeing the stage being set for chaos. Now, certain brothers and sisters are gonna be you are going to be protected. You got to keep your faith, and certain of us are going to be martyred. You have to have it set within your mind that whatever happens is because Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah wants this to happen. But you have to understand that if Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah is truly dealing with you, he's not going to let nothing happen to you. So this is where your faith got to be more, austere. Your faith got to be more in tune, man, because we're watching these two go at it. But now, National Guard being, I say in the span about 2 weeks to 19 different states. That alone, that's the Egyptian, that's setting up civil war. Who knows how that's going to go. But these are just stages that's being set. And then these are also stages that's going to be set because these all, you got to think, if they got them all deployed out to these different areas, these FEMA camps, these are areas that more than likely going to be areas where they're going to send you for FEMA camps. If they want to send you somewhere for acting, for being radical, for brothers that might get sent somewhere for being radical, for what you believe in or what have you. Excuse me. But it's really just prophecy playing out. Like I said, thou shalt desire to go into a city and shall not be able to. Now you're going to have these different federal, and I'm going to play this next video because I'm interested. Because, the federal, pretty much the feds is ran by they're interested in the rural powers. They're not interested in money. They're not really interested too much in the interest of the American people. Their whole thing is to follow the president's orders, and the president's clearly showing you whose side he on. It's an inside job, man. But I'm gonna play this and I'm gonna get some scriptures.
Aren't doing that.
But why not, though? Why isn't Ukraine and Russia?
They're not good at propaganda.
Doing that to each other.
See, this is
Well, I don't know. I think Zelensky's pretty good at propaganda.
maybe, but I guess he doesn't have like the lifelong commitment to it that the Palestinians. I've been in news. The Palestinians been doing it.
You got to be kidding me. So she's dismissing. Did it seem like she's dismissing the photos of starving children in Gaza?
She was behaving.
Right, and these are all recent events. This is how the devil works. He likes to, commit these acts, these atrocities, and use his devices, wicked device known as the media. These things to deter the people from what's actually true and it's just another form of witchcraft. Using big words and using words and trying to maneuver around what the truth actually is. Just another form of witchcraft that this devil likes to use on our people, man. Obviously, whether last year, 2 years ago, these small houses coming out of the sewers, man. And it just couldn't so happen to find out that where they was coming out of, where they found the bodies in those walls, is actually connected to a children's museum, man. So these people are known to be evil. Those are definitely not the Lord's chosen people. You know, and like it is written, the chosen people will be in a state of oppression, man. What will be the point of salvation, man, of the Lord coming back? Unless it was to save our oppressed people, or beaten down people, or people that are, broken in spirit. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, you see these devils, how they just get away with things. They just constantly, continuously get away with the same atrocity, the same act. But there's more than that. I'm pretty sure when the Lord pulls the curtains on these devils, man, it's really gonna be it's so filthy in Hollywood. It's so filthy at the top, man. So, and like I said, I mean, I've been saying these type of things, man. You know, the adrenochrome, you know, that they like to steal. They say they like to steal the adrenaline from babies. You know, these are stuff that you got to talk about. I mean, you don't like to hear. You don't like. I mean, it does make you some type of way. But yeah, they do these things, man. The Pizzagate thing. What happened to that? All these billionaires buying children, which was supposedly these children been auctioned off online and getting sold and carted off over and shipped to different countries, man. You gotta understand, man. This ain't no you ain't a part of nothing where you know. I get it. We're gonna have our moments, but this is like the time to really lock in, man. Even for myself, man. You know.
As if those are just
Yeah,
propagandas,
it's
and I
just
can't believe that propaganda because, and then Ukraine and Russia, they're
wow.
not into that kind of propaganda. Russia's never been that good about propaganda. What is she
What is
talking
she
about?
talking about? Let's listen to this one more time.
Although I haven't seen the number of dead children, injured children, starving children coming out of the Ukraine-Russian conflict like we've seen come out of the
But isn't that
Israel-Gaza.
I mean, pretty much they're funding. So these are the devils telling on themselves. They fund. They don't understand it. America. You actually help fund. You know, America, aka Babylon the Great. You know, you actually help fund a lot of these programs. They're guilty of all charges too. There's even conspiracies behind the CPS thing. Like you always, I mean, I remember talking about it in my videos with Hillary Clinton. You know, the CPS. You know, your child. You know, if you're not, it was in the 90s. It was a law she signed in the 90s. If you're not equipped enough to take care of your children, CPS can take your children. There was a scandal behind that. They were saying CPS is taking people's kids into different foster care homes, and some will end up as sex workers. You know, Lord knows what would happen when you're a slave or a sex slave, or when children getting carted off as workers and young. This devil's filthy, man. And see, this is the thing, man. The Lord is pulling up the skirt on you devils. As much as you try to, make us to blame, or you try to, make other brothers, even, you try to make us to blame. The Lord is pulling the skirt on everybody and everything that's not right, man. In this spirit, I mean, America, aka Babylon, the cage of every foul spirit is literally being lifted up. And then not only that, you're starting to see these Amalekites start to come. They understand that they're with the world power. They're about world down. They don't give a damn about America, man. And what's going on? That's the top. That's the head nation of the Edomites. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, they don't care about starving you out here, starving out your children, taking out like these different companies, bombing you, sending you out with plagues, releasing their robots, releasing their enhanced animals. This is why we say we're going to need spiritual power. We're going to need the Lord Yahweh Shah, man. You're going to have your faith fully intact in Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shah.
because of the Palestinians and their amazing propaganda abilities?
Amazing. They're amazing. The Palestinians are just, they have amazing propaganda. Not Israel. Israel's not the propaganda. Serious. Telling us don't believe your eyes.
And see, and this is the verse where I'm gonna get the verse that I had planned for, because this just goes hand in hand with Isaiah 32. It says, verse 6, it says, "For the vile person will speak villainly." It says, "In his heart will work iniquity, to practice hypocrisy." This is what you see in this hypocrisy, right? It says, "To utter error against the Lord," man. What is he? We remember the video with Noah, what's his name, Noel Harari. You know, he's pretty much saying that we don't even need God. We're going to be better than God. You know, speaking against the Heavenly Father, even Elon Musk. You know, showing out these great. You know, these are all the scriptures. This is the scripture speaking. You know, showing great signs and wonders. You know, doing great signs. I mean, they've already shown great. They just sent another shuttle on a secret mission to NASA. So there's a lot going on, man. It says, to make empty the soul of the hungry. Who's the hungry, man? It's not talking about really. I mean, yes, you can adjust this because the wicked is in rulership now. So they do starve people out in other countries. But this is talking about the spiritually hungry as well. You know, there's no righteousness on this earth. There's no righteousness. There's no judgment. Mercy is the Lord's mercy is about to be taken off because these people that's in rulership, and even 2/3 of our own people, even those, you know what I'm saying, it's really getting to a point where the Lord's just about to take his mercy away, man. It says, and he will cause the drink of the thirsty to fail. You know, and that's going, I mean, like I said, famine, death, the sword, all these things is going to come to Babylon, man. These things is going to come onto here. So this is the time to build up your spirit now. You know, listen to the elders and apostles, you know, other brothers, whatever they bring out. Because this is, man, it's about to get real, man. It says the instruments also of the churl are evil, man. He devises wicked devices to destroy the poor with lying words, even the needy. It says even when the needy speak it right, and this is what you see in Palestine. You know, I mean, there's countless of videos of, you know, the Palestinians pretty much telling them they're not a part of whatever they're going on, but these people are just bloodthirsty to get rid of them, to make them the issue to their problem. But really, the issue is, you know, they really want this oil field over there. But see, that was land that they agreed on. You see what I'm saying? But the Lord didn't say that we would go back into the land by Balfour Declaration by British rule. And neither did he set the Palestinians in there either. You know what I'm saying? That's, you know, to a double whammy. That really goes back to what you know what they call the wars, the Ottoman wars with the Ottoman, you know, Christian wars. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, the Muslim Christian wars, I mean, you know, that goes as far back to the Ottomans and the Byzantines. You know, it's a lot that ties into this. But see, this is their propaganda. This is that two-headed beast. And it's working on all levels. It's that dual spirit of contention, man. There's strife in the air, and then you see these different whirlwinds popping up out of nowhere. This is all setting the stage for the coming of the Lord, man. And, you know, call halal Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah, that he gave us his truth to understand. To the ones that's sincere, that's in this, that truly believe, man. You know, because he could have gave to anybody else, but he allowed us to have this. This is what gets us a seal, man. This is what seals you. You know, it says, but the liberal divides of liberal things, and by liberal things shall he stand. It says, rise up, ye women that are at ease. Hear ye my voice, ye careless daughters, give unto my speech. And this is what I was saying when I say it's going to hit you women first, man. Isaiah 4:1 is going to hit you women over here, you know, the hardest. And me personally, like I said, I always encourage brothers to try. I mean, you deal with how you deal, but be careful, man. You know, I'm not dealing with nobody. You know, you want to try to make it to the end to the best of your ability, man. You know, but at the end of the day, you know, if the Lord provides, and you know, you never know. But at the end of the day, just keep your mind focused on the kingdom, man. That's the most important thing. Stand true to the faith, keeping your faith, praying that the Lord don't take the spirit from you, prayer, and keeping focused on the kingdom, and all things shall be added unto you. It says, many days and years shall ye be troubled, ye careless women, for the vintage shall fail and the gathering shall not come. And like I said, I'm thinking that we're coming into, you know, we're coming to a point where some of us might even be martyred, man. Like, I'm starting to see that, because they're clearly targeting, you know, there's clearly a target for certain people. They're setting up the stage to target certain individuals. So just, you know, don't be surprised that they got you, they playing, you know, your videos, they're showing you certain things about, you know, what you do, you know, they saying certain things in your past life, or the certain things that you do, or whatever, man. Don't be surprised at anything. Just know that you got to have this fixed state into your heart that the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah brought you here for a reason. And if you have to be one of his faithful martyrs, you know, come on, man. That's a great honor in the kingdom. But anyways, let me keep going. Let me play this video. We did see, you know, the feds going at it with the state governments on levels, man. You know, I'm thinking Texas is going to end up, you know, departing from the United States.
Governor DeSantis is responding today after a federal judge ordered a halt to construction at Alligator Alcatraz. That order also bars them from bringing in additional detainees. Channel 9's Ashley Webb reports the governor said the state would not be deterred by this order.
This was not something that was unexpected.
Governor Ron DeSantis addressed this 82-page ruling from federal judge Kathleen Williams. In the order, Williams says she expects the population of the facility to decrease within the next 60 days because detainees will have to be transferred to other facilities. When that happens, she ordered for fencing, lighting, generators, as well as sewage receptacles to be removed from the site.
This is a judge that was not going to give us a fair shake. This was preordained. Very much an activist judge that is trying to do policy from the bench.
The DeSantis administration responded to the order, filing for an appeal. We spoke to legal expert Bill Schaefer.
Of course, you're going to hear the same rhetoric from the state that it's a biased or radical judge. You wouldn't hear that if they denied the motion for temporary injunction.
Schaefer says the South Florida judge will likely have a final hearing making this temporary injunction permanent. Then the appeals court will hear the case either with a panel of 3 judges or a block of all 11th Circuit appellate judges. This could be in the next few weeks.
And like we said, we also said in the next couple of weeks, National Guard then been deployed to several different. So this is just bound to just, the chaos is just bound to be brewed up. This devil's brewing up a lot, so just keep your eyes peeled, stay focused, stay in the faith, and keep your mind fixated that, Yahweh Shah's mercy, his blood covering you is just enough to get you all the way to the end. If you keep the faith, you're doing what you're supposed to do to the best of your ability, and you understand that, this life is temporary, man. This life is temporary. Everything's literally about to crash out and burn, man. So, I'm gonna end that right there. Call halal yamla Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushua, by Hashem Rakakadash, and shalom to the hopeful elect still enduring in the faith.